Well, it all begins with a folder that we have for each week. Every Thursday at noon, our votes are due on all of the petitions that are pending for that week. And so I'll usually carry 2 or 3 or 4 of the weeks of folders around with me so that I can always be working on them. Within the folder, it begins with the purple sheet, which has the list of all of the cases that are up for vote that week. And then under the purple sheet, there's a pink sheet for each one of those cases. And on that sheet, I can make notes and mark what my vote would be. So I'll have this with me. We also have this available electronically. I have found that it's just a little easier when I'm working on the iPad to have this with me as a hard copy so that no matter where I am, I can then pull up the iPad, look at the petition, if there's a response, review the response, and then make my votes on the paper, and then have my assistant input my notes and votes electronically. When I actually pull up the pink sheet, I'll usually just pull the case up on our public website that we have, the Supreme Court's website, and pull up the petition. When I look at the petition, I'll normally skim through the beginning and figure out who are the parties and their lawyers just to make sure there's not a conflict or a reason that I need to recuse myself. I'll skim through the outline, table of contents, and the issues presented. And usually at that point, I'll then scroll all the way down to the bottom and look for the Court of Appeals opinion. And I'll usually read the Court of Appeals opinion first and then go back and read the summary of the argument. And by doing that, usually the Court of Appeals gives a better description of what the case is about. And I always want to have read that so I know what it is that the petitioner is complaining about. I'll read the summary of the argument and most of the time then go on to read the full argument. Sometimes just reading the summary of the argument, you know right then and there it's a case that we need to talk about and review. Or you may know right then and there it's a case that we don't need to talk about and review. And so once you've done that and read the Court of Appeals opinion and then gone through the petition, if there's a response, I'll look at the response as well. But I can do all of that here on the iPad and then submit and then mark my votes on the purple sheet, which we then submit by noon on Thursday of each week, so that all the votes will be tallied and we'll know which ones will be denied and which ones we'll discuss. I can also do it on my computer here at the office. I've got the big monitor so that I can pull the petition up and it's almost like a hard copy in front of me. And that's very convenient, but I've actually found that even sitting here in the office, I tend to prefer to read all of it on the iPad just because it's a little more manageable. I can hold it wherever I want to hold it. I can go sit over at the table on the other side of my office. I can scroll through it a little more easily with my finger touch screen. And so I tend to do everything on the iPad, and certainly when I'm traveling, it's great to have that iPad that I can just pull up and read the next one on the purple sheet and get all my votes in on time.